Hey everyone, welcome to the Knitting Den, episode number 151, I think, and it is Wednesday, February 19th. It is 9:15 on Wednesday morning. How is everyone? Are you doing okay? Are you happy to be here? Have you got your cuppa? Oh, I've been so looking forward to sitting down with you. And Bindi was going to come over here, but I think she's gone for a snooze. Hold on and I'll let you see her. There she is, sitting. She did have her eyes closed a second ago. Say hi to everyone. And Boo is usually in the hallway, so I'm sure he's saying hi. But oh, look at that. She was just outside, and it's really cold, but she likes it. You probably can see some snow out there and a snow shovel. And sometimes when she curls up like that, she looks like a little Arctic fox. So that's a little hello from Bindi. She's just gone right back off to sleep. Okay, so hello again to everyone, and if you're watching for the first time, my name's Denise, and I'm also known as Knitting Den on Ravelry and Instagram. And to everyone else, friends, I like to call you friends, not viewers, welcome back, guys. Have you got your cuppa? Are you looking forward to chatting? You know, I've been looking forward to this all week, especially after reading some of the posts in the Ravelry group, but I'll get to that in a little bit. So before we get started with the podcast, I always like to say hello, special welcomes. If you left an introduction in the Ravelry group, then I like to say hi. And I want to say hi to Pam, who is Pam Herman on Ravelry. Hi, Pam. She's only been knitting for about a year, less than a year, I think. So welcome to the knitting world and the podcast world. If you're not already hooked on both, then you soon will be. And Bindi wants to say hi to your little furry kitties. And I love their names. Hello, Donnie and Marie. That's how sweet. Because, you know, we've just been talking about Donnie. So, yes, your furry kittens or cats are Donnie and Marie. And I want to say hi to Jennifer, who is Knit Creations. Hi, Jennifer. You're in Montana, and you are a new grandma, a new grandmother to Ruby. Congratulations, and yes, do have fun knitting all those baby things. I was going to get I keep meaning to do this week after week. I was going to get a little baby sweater out that I'd knit for Kristen when I was pregnant, and I keep forgetting to do it. Seeing your introduction reminded me, but then I still forgot to get it out of her memory box. So I will try to do that in the next few weeks or so. If you are a member of the Ravelry group, or you just joined, I should say, a new member, welcome. We are now up to 963 last time I checked. And if you've been in the Ravelry group this week, you will see that I've put up the thread for the 3-year podiversary. March the 1st was the day I posted the first podcast. I think I'd recorded a day or so earlier, but it took me a day or so to get it up on Blip at that time and onto iTunes through Blip. So I did say I had a huge giveaway, which is one of the Kiki Boo kits, the last one we did, and it was either going to be for a 1,000 member giveaway or the 3-year podiversary, and I think we'll get to the 3-year podiversary before we hit 1,000, because we've only got a couple of weeks left before we get to March 1st. So if you haven't gone over there, do so, and just read the little blurb I put in there and leave a comment. And as I said, that was one of the reasons I was looking forward to sitting down and chatting with you all, because I'd been reading everything, all of the comments you'd left and the things that you know, telling me the things that you like. And I know a lot of you like absolutely everything on the podcast, which thrills me. And then I know there's parts of it that you have favourites. I'm not saying you don't like the other parts. As I said, the majority, I'm sure you like it, all of it, otherwise you wouldn't be watching. But so thank you. So before I get started on looking at the notes as well, what's in my mug? I'm in New York today. This is my Dunkin' Donuts mug, which I haven't used yet on the show. It was sent with my 12-month knit-along package from the Little Lippy You group. And It's going to go cold fast. Look what I'm drinking. No, it's not coffee. I have some sweet rhubarb tea that was sent to me last week, or the week before actually. I had this last week. With the goodies, with the Jaffa cakes, remember? And I also got the other one, I think it's lemongrass and ginger. And they are so good. For a long, long time, Tears O Passion tea was the only tea I liked. I like it as iced tea and I liked it as a hot cup of tea. But I'm really enjoying trying different teas. And this one, it smells of rhubarb, and I used to love rhubarb and custard when we were little. Oh, I used to love eating sticks of raw rhubarb too. I haven't done that in many, many years. Do you still do that over there? I don't know if people do it here, but back in England I'm sure. I wasn't the only one eating sticks of rhubarb. But yeah, so I'm drinking this. You might be able to tell I'm very nasally. And I just want to mention that I have put in here some honey. And I wouldn't have thought to do that if I hadn't have been watching Tilly from Tilly Trout podcast. She wasn't feeling very well in her last podcast, and she was drinking a cup of the lemongrass and ginger tea with honey. And as I said, I never thought to add honey because I generally don't sweeten my tea. But I've added honey in the past few times I've had these cups of tea, and they're just more delicious than without, actually. So I'm enjoying that. Where was I? I'm waffling. Am I off on a tangent, or was that where I was waffling about? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, you'll be able to tell. Oh, I'm so nasally. I was sick last week. Right after I recorded on the Wednesday, by Wednesday evening, start getting a sore throat. Not a scratchy one either. One where it only hurt when I swallowed. And it was really tight, and I could tell I was getting congestion, and my head was throbbing, and it was like heavy on my chest. So yeah, I got some yucky crud, as I like to call it, from probably the flight back home from Florida. And I'm glad I recorded and then got sick, otherwise you wouldn't have seen me for a couple of days. I stayed in bed for 2 days, didn't have any energy, and I wasn't going to push myself to do stuff. I didn't even knit. That's how sick I was. Didn't even knit for a couple of days. Yeah, I just lay there. I tried to watch some podcasts, but I didn't even do that. I tried to read a little. I didn't get much. I napped in the afternoons. And well, anyway, I'm a lot better. By Saturday, to be honest, I was as good as this, but I just a little tired. But you know, just it's the congestion and the nasally sound that lingers for a while. So yeah, because I was sick, didn't get that much knitting done. There's always some excuse, isn't there? But I've got lots to chat about. I've written some notes, and as I said, I'm really happy to be here. Let's see. Oh yeah, before I'm going to heat this tea up, and before I do that, my Kit Kat. Now, do you notice it's an English one? It's one of the ones I was sent, and what I loved about these are how they used to always be packaged. It's strange because I just got so used to the American package, totally sealed. But these ones, you can either slide them out, or when you take this off. What I used to love about it, and this is what I've been doing, brings back lots of memories. The Kit Kat, and you can actually, can you see it through there? You can sometimes see it through the foil. I'm rubbing it. But I remember the commercials, or the adverts, as we said, in England. And it would say, have a break, have a Kit Kat. So, lots of people were having their break at work with a cup of coffee, and they'd show them having a Kit Kat. And so what they would do and show on TV was have a break, and you'd just slide your thumb down like that, and then you'd hear this. Or not. But they would do it on TV as like a big snap, and they would break the Kit Kat in half. And I've just been enjoying doing that for the past week. And then I used to roll it down like that, and you didn't get chocolate on your fingers. And I have to say, these are a little bit longer than the ones over here. So, alright, so I'm going to have a little bite of Kit Kat. If you've got yours, enjoy. if you've got your Jaffa cakes or any other kind of bickies, biscuits or cookies, have a nibble. I'm going to heat my tea up. I'm going to have a bite of this. And I took a little video for you yesterday because we had lots of snow. I'm going to insert it here, and you can watch it while I go heat up my tea. Hi guys, it is Tuesday morning and I thought I'd take a little video. We got a lot of snow yesterday, as you can see, and this morning, because the sun is shining so bright, I thought I'd take a little walk up the driveway and show you the view again. I know you've seen it before, but to me it just looks different every day. And what I love in the mornings like this, the actual trees are still full of snow. It's only about 10 degrees, it's really, really chilly, but there's no wind and it just sounds so quiet, and you can probably hear, if I shut up a second, the snow crunching under my feet. And I'm halfway on the path and off, so here I am. Alright, so I don't know if it's going to show on the camera. I bet it does, and I just can't see it. But do you see it glittering? I can see it as if someone sprinkled silver glitter everywhere, and I'm not sure if it picks up here on the camera or not. But there's the sun coming up. And it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. So let's have a fast walk up the drive, and then I'll turn around and... oh my gosh, look at this. Yes, I'm still in my pyjamas too. I'm doing this for you guys because it probably will melt a lot today. I'm doing it this morning. Just stopping a little to zoom in on all the snow on the trees, which I love. And halfway up I'll turn around and then I'll walk backwards. Hope I don't trip, but that way you can see the view behind me as I head up the hill here. So hold on, don't want to make you dizzy, but okay, so here we are. Hubby went out to work this morning. Thankfully he got up the driveway. He'll probably clear this with a snow blower once he gets home. But look at that gorgeous blue sky. I love it. So, I am walking backwards. Don't fall, Denise, don't fall. And you won't see anything beyond these trees until I get up to the top. Okay, I'm at the top of the driveway now, and I'm going to do something I haven't done before. You see my shadow. I'm going to walk along the edge of the road here. This is our property on this side, and just show you the view as I get to the end of the street there. And you can see it's kind of unobstructed because you'll see past all of these shrubs, trees here. And right in the distance, I'll try and zoom in a second, because I've shown this before. But one of you just mentioned that you liked to see this. There is the sleeping Indian guy, right in the middle. And I don't know what that hill or mountain, I think it's just a hill. I don't know what that one's called. It's quite hazy, so you can't really see the mountains. But let's keep going a few more seconds. I didn't put gloves on again, but then it's kind of hard to hold the phone and zoom in with gloves on anyway, but I just want to do this slow. And if you're kind of bored by now, just fast forward a little. And then I'll do this way, and then the sun is streaming through. And again. Oh, I've zoomed right in there, and then it looks wobbly. But there you go. I'm going to go a little bit further just to see if you can get that unobstructed view, as I mentioned. Right now there's no cars coming, so well, I probably spoke too soon. There we go. And there, that's Bell Mountain. That's what our neighbourhood's called as well. Okay, I think that's enough panning backwards and forwards for you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Back at the driveway, and I just wanted to show you, I love when the pine trees are full of snow like this. It just looks amazing. So pretty. Let's see if we drop it all. Whee! Oh, we're making snowfalls. Oops, hold on. Let's have another snowfall. Okay, I'm getting back into the house. Bindi will be pining for me. Ooh, that's better. A little bit hot now, but that's good. Put that there. So what did you think? Did you enjoy that? It's the same kind of day today. Beautiful blue skies. It's kind of a light blue. Snow. There's bits lying around, but it melts so fast here. By yesterday afternoon, that driveway was totally cleared. Totally clear. So the only thing that lies around is on some roofs and on the grass. You know, there's still some snow. So yeah. Alright, what are we chatting about today? Tease. We are chatting about whips, cals, crochet, yes. I feel like I've got a bit of Kit Kat stuck on my lips. Show and tell, book talk, and girly chatter. Actually, and I forgot to put this one in the kitchen. I can chat about a couple of things from the kitchen. So let me write that in. Write that down because I'll probably forget in 5 minutes. Sorry, now I have to slurp because it's a bit hot. Yeah, so I'm faffing with my hair. I felt so crappy for the past few days, and after, you know, the weekend, wandering around in my pyjamas and not having much energy. I have had a shower since then, but I've had my shower and done my hair and added a little makeup today, just for you. No, just for me as well, actually, because you feel much better when you've tarted yourself up, as I used to say, or as we often say in England. Put a bit of makeup on and yeah, I feel a lot better. When you look a little better, it does wonders. So, that's what we're going to be chatting about. No finished objects. And, yeah, let's get into the works in progress. Hang on. Oh my gosh, that's super, super yummy. Thank you, sweet friend who sent that. You know who you are. Wish we could be sitting down having it together. And then Tilly could join us, and Kay, because I know that's some of their favourite teas. Actually, Talia, if you haven't tried these, I've got a few. And I've got the lemongrass ones. I should pop a couple in the mail to you, because I know you like trying different teas. And the reason I tell you what's in my cup is because Talia from Penhook Needles podcast always asks us what's in our mug. So, all right, where am I? Oh, yeah. Where are we? Yeah, where are we? Okay, I need to put that to one side. All right. In my little bag that I made myself, which I decided not to sell because I wasn't happy with the stitching. It was just, this is why I didn't sell it. I just did not like that it was pulling at the seams here. But I will not sell stuff like that. And the reason it's pulling at the seams is because I think the padding that I use was right up to the edge, and so it was quite thick. Anyway, not that you need to know that. I have, I can't remember if I did have this cast on or I just talked about it last week because I'd cast on and then pulled it off. Oh, well, let me get the big picture for you. On my needles this week, I've got this beautiful top called Milkweed from the Barocco book. And it's for their new yarn called Indigo. And I have talked about it, but, you know, I'm going to give you all the information every week because there might be some new people haven't heard of it. So, Indigo, it's a recycled denim and cotton, 95% cotton, from Barocco. This colourway I'm using is called Monroe, and I'm using it, it's funny, I've started using centre pulls, but they don't half just go all soft and squishy as you know, get through the centre. So I'm a bit worried because I'm keep thinking it's just going to all unravel, so I'm handling it very gently. I wonder if that's why you use those socks. I've never used one. Like a yarn cozy. I bet that's why you use them. Oh, I often wondered, why would you want them and I wouldn't be able to use it because I, you know, use it from the outside. Anyway, I did cast on again. Same size. Sorry, my hair's getting on my nose already. Same size, but two needle sizes down, because I am a very loose knitter. And I'm really enjoying it, and I've made quite a little progress. Look. Now, I haven't yet, because I was going to do this, take it off the needles again. Oh, sorry, I'm chopping my head off as I sit up there for you. I was going to take it off the needles, put it on waste yarn, and make sure that I'm happy with the size. I would rather it be a little bigger and looser, because I kind of just envision, I keep getting the small picture, I kind of envision, if it's, I think I'm going to, mine might turn out looser around the bottom, you know, more positive ease instead of it kind of clinging to me bum. So I don't mind. I want to make sure it's going to be like that and not too tight. I mean, that looks okay, but I don't want it tight. The last little top I knit, if you remember, back in the summer, in like the salmon-y kind of colour. I forgot what it was called. It was a free pattern, but it ended up too tight, and I probably won't wear it that much. So, oh, hang on. I shouldn't have picked that up because I'm busy showing you this. So, you can look at that while I have a sip. There you go. And as I said, I am enjoying it. And I'm using a size 5. Ooh, and I'm still so loose that it would just slip off the needles if I'm not careful. But I'm using a 5, and that's given me, I like the feel of this cotton now. To be honest, when I had it in the skeins. I've got 2 more. They're downstairs. I didn't think I would like this as much because it's like it looks very raw. I would call it a raw looking cotton. A bit like mercerized cotton, I guess. But and it's got little white bits on, look. And that's actually in the yarn. It's not just a piece of fluff. It's all over and all throughout the yarn. And you can probably tell what I mean when I show you the front cover in a denim look, in the denim colour. You see the kind of white flecks? Well, that looks alright in denim, but on my pink thing, I just feel like I keep wanting to pull them out, like it's on the inside there, which is fine. But when I see one on the outside, I have to pick it off. And it comes off alright, so it's just habit. I mean, I just keep thinking it's a piece of fluff on there. So here's a piece, look. See there? Here? I would just totally be picking that off. I don't know, it's weird. It's not... So, never mind. Oh, excuse me. I don't like sniffing like that. So, anyway, here, the pattern is on the back only. And, as you know, it's hard to show you because I'm on a 24-inch needle. So, I do want to... Before I get too far, I think later today I'm going to pull this off. I've been enjoying knitting it so much, I haven't put it on the waste yarn yet. And this pattern is actually knit flat, 2 pieces back and front. I'm knitting, as you can see, in the round. So, we shall see. Obviously in the round until you get to the arm holes, and then I'll divide and split like you normally do for any other kind of top in the round. But I am really liking the feel. I just like the weight. Obviously, my nail. Being such a loose knitter, if I'd knit that on a 7, it would have just been so thin. You know, even if I'd have gone down a size, I wouldn't have liked the feel of it. This is just a nice thickness, but not too thick. And I think, you know, once it's blocked and relaxed, I think it's not going to be prickly. So it's going to be super to wear in the spring, or definitely the summer here. And as I mentioned before, I can just see myself wearing capris, white capris, with some nice sandals, and this, and maybe it's a bit of bling bling or matching earrings or bracelets. So that, I've done a little bit of work on that. I have to tell you, what's sucking up my knitting time, and we'll move into that after the whips. Crochet, I don't know, it's a love-hate relationship, because I can't stop trying it and doing it, but I hate that it takes away from my knitting time. I need more hours in the day. The next work in progress. Spindy. Oh, now I'm getting an itchy nose. We're going to, it moves us into the knit along news, because it's my work in progress is my KAL, my knit along sweater in my big sweater bag. Excuse me. And I'm kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back with this, because I'm going to have to pull out a few times, and I'm having to pull out the last time. Last night I was trying to knit on it, and I realised I have to pull back. I have to tink, because, and you probably can see. Alright, hold on, I'll show you. Do you see this? I've kind of knit or purled twice, and it's gone thick. I think I've knit or purled 2 rows. You see here. So I'm having to take it back, because it's quite encumbersome. Every time I'm do a pattern row, I should be knitting the rest of these, and then when it's a plain row, you know, no yarn overs or anything, I'll be purling these. And it just ended up last night, I realised that I was on a pattern row, and I was purling, and I shouldn't have been, but the stitch looked like I should be. And then I realised that if I'd looked further down. Oh, you can see the tightness of the last 2 rounds. So I'm kind of tinking back, and it's making it even slower progress than I thought it was originally. So let me give you the details, but it's easier to hold upside down. Look at that. I guess I could do it this way as well. So that's the big cowl at the. It's going to be a foldy down cowl. It's called the Lawrence Sweater. For anyone that's not heard me talk about this yet, it's a big cowl. I'll show you a quick. I've got a black and white picture, but I'll show you. So it's kind of going to look like this, big cowl, and it's going to have short sleeves, and it's got a pattern running down the front and the back, just off centre. And at the top of the cowl, you can see this feature where it's, I don't know, they called it a welt. So you got that. Now, that goes around the bottom, and that once you picked up the sleeves and knit, that goes around the edges of the sleeves as well. And they were not fun to do, I have to tell you. I mean, to me, it's exactly like a picot edge. But with the picot edge, you've kind of knit 2 together, and you've made holes, and then when you fold it down, the holes, make it look like that shape, the picot. So it's the exact same thing. You have to fold it over and pick up stitches. But yeah, it's kind of taken its sweet time, or I am. And I know Tracy from Tea Plays Nice podcast has already finished hers, blocked it and everything. I'm waiting for model shots, Tracy. It looks fabulous. So for anybody, I've only got the black and whites, but it's called the Lawrence Sweater if you want to check it out on Ravelry. Big cowl there, big cowl neck. And I'm knitting it in Barocco Vintage. Kind of learnt my lesson. I'm not doing wool or alpaca or anything. Hang on, still in our drinking game. We can have a drink. Because I said alpaca. Okay, so now I was going to tell you a little bit more. Oh, I'm so sorry for sniffing up. I don't have who the designer is, not on this, but I won't keep you waiting. As I said, you can check out my Ravelry page. It'll give you the link to the pattern, and I'll write it down next time, since I haven't printed it fully. So let's move into the Knit Along news, which is we're knitting this in the Knitting Down group, Ravelry group, along with Sarah from the Apple Blossom and You podcast. Oh, and I forgot to bring the prizes. No, I didn't. Hold on. I'm going to get the prizes because I think I've left them over on the table. I have a couple of prizes that were donated. I'd like to show you them again and mention who the ladies are. But as I was saying, I'm doing this knit along with Apple Blossom and You podcast. Now, I'm not sure. I'm behind on podcasts, what with being away at the retreat and then getting sick the day after or so I got home. That's 2 weeks where I've lost time that I would normally be watching podcasts. So I haven't seen Sarah and Matt for a couple of weeks, and I'm not sure if she's even cast on again, because I think you frogged what you started, Sarah, so I need to catch up with you guys, see where you're at. I'm, pushing ahead. I really want this off the needles fast, so I can wear it while it's still cold, layer it, and then I'll focus on the milkweed, kind of maybe to alternate my time, because I'm just enjoying that, and I won't be wearing that until June probably, or July, but I just fancy getting it done. So let me go get the prizes. I'll be right back. Okay, and where's my pen, because I'm going to need to write some notes. Alright, here are the prizes, and these were kindly donated. Oh, fabulous! I love this. Look, that was Bindi. That's what she likes to do when she's settling down. And so 2 prizes. I wish I could just send these together, because they just look like you should be knitting something with this and putting it in this bag. But I want to spread the love. So I'm giving, you know, a prize each. Somebody gets a bag, somebody gets the yarn. The yarn, I got this from Jennifer, who's Daisy Knits on Etsy, and Daisy Knits on Ravelry. I think that's what your Rab name is. She has an Etsy store, Daisy Knits, and she does some gorgeous hand-dyed yarn. And I don't know if it's going to show, but it does have a little sparkle to it. Just turn it around slowly so you can see the different colours in it. Fingering weight, and this is her dewy sock base, I guess. Merino nylon, 75% 20, and then the 5% stellina in it. I still don't know if you can see as much sparkle as I can. But anyway, one prize, so a huge thank you because Jennifer donated that for us. So I'm giving it away for the cow because I just have not had time to make bags, you know, that I would normally give away myself. So I really appreciate these ladies offering to just have something to give away on the podcast. I'm using it for our cow. And this bag, as I said, gorgeous, see-through, lovely size, definitely great for shawls and you get quite a lot in there, definitely socks. You get a few pairs of socks in there. This is from Christine, and she's from Rainstorm Studios. I mentioned this last week. This is one of her window bags, and it's the size of large. And inside it's just, you know, matching. It's a gorgeous print. I love the paisley, and I love the aqua kind of colours and the light browns, I would call those. Light browns and taupe or something. So that's going to be a prize. Now, in the Ravelry thread, again, I did open up a thread for 2 other prizes. That way, if you're not taking part in the knit along, you still get a chance to win a prize round about the same time. I did say I was going to draw today, but I did not get the post open until, you know, a few days after. In fact, it might have only been, I can't remember if it was a weekend, but I thought I'm going to change my mind. I'm not drawing it for today. I'd like to give some of you a little extra time to you know, leave a comment in there if you want to try to win a prize. And there's 2 prizes in that thread. One is the fibre from Deb, Fondant Fibre. I forgot to bring it again. And I have a pattern now. I'm going to give away, donated by Kimberly for the Sock Bunny Knit and Fit podcast, a copy of her pattern, the Bee Leaf Pie Shawl. If you've been watching for a little while, you will know that I knit that last year in lace, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So Kimberly's donated the pattern, and I am going to give away a skein of lace yarn. It'll be Sock Bunny's yarn that's in my stash, and I've got, I want to say 2 or 3 skeins, so I might give you a choice of what colour you want to pick. And I'll try to add pictures before we do the drawing, or I'll definitely try to have them here next week as well. I'm going to draw 4 winners at the end of February, whatever the podcast is after that. If you are doing the knit along, Lauren's Sweater Cal, by all means still comment in the other giveaway. But if you win something in the Lauren's Cal and your name is pulled in the other one, excuse me, I'm getting dry, you can't win twice, I'm afraid. Excuse me. Oh, isn't that awful? So yeah, by all means, give yourself another chance, and you might win in that one if you don't win in the Lawrence one. If you do win in the Lawrence one, as I said, you can't win in the other one. So if I draw your name, I would draw somebody else. I think it's only fair. All right. I might end up stopping and starting this a little bit more because I'm going to have to clear my nose and I'm getting a bit dry. But don't worry, because I have my Tervis to the rescue. I use this every day. I'm trying to get at least 3 of these in me. And I tend to always look a bit murky because I add a bit of lemon juice to my water. And I don't mean freshly squeezed. I use a bottle a lot of the time. Anyway, let's keep going. Where are we at? Oh yeah, crochet. Are you sitting comfy? Oh, Molly, sure, I know you're so proud of me. Where is it? Okay. My love-hate relationship. I did not get much done on the blanket, the sock square, the sock yarn blanket. Not much at all, and it's, as I said before, it's kind of looking at a funky shape. But I don't want to pull it out. I'm just going to keep going, and to be honest, this might end up thick, not thin, tight, loose, whatever, because I'm going to class it as my practice as well. I finished off this colour, after the yellow, I finished off this colour that I got from Christine. And next, have you seen this? It's kind of, it's not yellow, but it's got a little bit of yellow and pink and that. Can you recognise that coloured yarn? Do you recognise it? This is my Knitting Den yarn. This is one of my leftovers. I can't remember actually if this is the MCN blend or if it's just the merino nylon. There, I did my socks. No, I did my socks in the MCN blend. So what did I do with the other? Oh, I did just the merino nylon in a cowl last year. So this is my leftover MCN, and this is from Never Enough Time. I should link, at least link to some of the things I'm chatting about. So they're on Etsy, Katie and her mom, Jane, and they dyed this specially for me. Gosh, you know, if I'd have thought ahead, I should have had someone dye a special 3-year podiversary for me, but I didn't have any colours in mind. This was based off my, you know, the little picture that I have, which was my my Knitting Den logo. So it's kind of, I don't know. Maybe it's because I got looser and looser. You see how it's white? It's just very warped. Maybe it's because I'm getting looser and looser as I do it. But I didn't get much done on that. Excuse me. I've been looking at videos. I keep looking at YouTube videos. I can't stop. And I think, well, okay, the blanket's just going to go on and on and on, and I want to try some other things. So after looking, I mean, I have done a couple, you know, I showed you a couple of squares before, which I practiced, and I have a blanket that Tracy sent me the pattern for, painted rose blanket, crocheted. I had tried one of those little squares, but oh my gosh, it's just like knitting. There's so many patterns out there, and I want to just try different. I just want to try different things. It's kind of crazy, and it's. I wouldn't say it's annoying me, but as I said, it's pulling me away from knitting. But that's all right, because what I love about this year is I'm not committed to anything. I'm not knitting for anyone but me. I don't have to knit for a knit-along prizes, knit-along giveaway, not giveaways. I'm not knitting for any, you know, like I did last year, where I'm committed to knitting for somebody. Not doing any of that. So it doesn't matter if I don't knit. I can just do what makes me happy. So right now, I am, obviously I'm always enjoying my knitting, but what's made me happy is trying some other things. Now, I'm not quite finished this. Oh, I should show you the picture so that you know kind of where it looks like. If I can, hang on, got my glasses here. Oh, I did keep it up, look. So, I can't remember, a couple of you mentioned Attic24. You told me about this website, right? And I went on her site, and she's got some tutorials, and I found, you know, where they are. And I saw this little thing, and I thought, ooh, I could just try and make that. So this past week and weekend, when I wasn't feeling too good, I did try to do some of this, and I decided to try and make this little bird. Yes, I said bird, not bird. Bird. Isn't it cute? And I thought, definitely doable if I can, you know, follow the pattern. I know how to do the flower, but I have to still follow a pattern. It's just because I don't know how many stitches they're using in that. So, she shows you how to do the circle, and she's got separate pages to do is just the circle because you can use it for other things. Then she shows you how to do the beak, and I actually could follow that. I'm going to show you it in a minute. So you stick the beak in and you fold the circle in half. Then you do wings, and I actually managed that from following the pattern. Then you stitch the wing on. And she lay hers flat, and then she's put 2 eyes in. And then she sews a chain to put through the top, and then she does a little flower. And as you could see from the top picture, the flower is kind of on the, hold on, I go all the way back. The flower, oops, oh yeah, okay, it wants to show you a big picture. The flower, you see where the flower is, and then there's a chain to hang it, and then it's got some little legs with buttons on. Now, I could have had this finished, but I can't, for the life of me, find any buttons in my house. So I'll show you, I'll talk about that in a second, and I'll show you, there's just one tiny little thread I cut too short, keeps peeping through. I'll show you my progress. Are you ready? Are you ready? And I haven't sewn it in half. I haven't sewn it, but I have folded it in half. That's my little bird, so far. And I would have finished it, if I'd have been able to find some buttons, I could have stitched the buttons on, and I could have done the legs, that's all it needs. Honestly, I can't find a button in this house. I've never really needed them before, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I wish I was like Tracy. Tracy, again from Tea Plays Nice, she was showing us a lovely tin of buttons from her grandma a few weeks ago. I have nothing like that. So I'm going to have to go out and find buttons. And I did think I had some buttons, like I'll save the buttons that come off your garments. Can I find them? No, of course not. So, that is my little attempt at crochet this week. And I'm kind of happy with it. It's fun. And I think that was all in the crochet. But, let's see if I can find. I've then started thinking, ooh, maybe I can, you know, the more I learn, or the more I have to follow YouTube videos really. But I went on to, where is it? I went on to Ravelry just actually this morning, and I was starting to look at other, I'm getting other patterns, and getting a little ahead of myself because obviously I'm still learning to crochet. But instead of just doing blankets, I wondered whether I'm capable of crocheting a top. I know. Very adventurous of me, don't you think? And I saw this. Oh, see, I want to learn to be this good. I want to do this. Well, I'll hit the full screen, then you'll see it better. Alright, tell me. Alright, Marlicia, how long will it take me to learn how to do this? Swoon. With white capris, probably. Oh, I love this style. Love it. And it's pineapple. It's a pineapple, let me see, pattern. The actual crochet pattern is called Pineapple, and this is called, well, it's called Jordan, a sleeveless pineapple top by Vicky, I haven't got my glasses on, Chan. It's a $7 pattern, and the thing is, I'm not sure, well, that's Canadian, it's $5.79 roughly. I'm not sure whether to invest that yet. You can see these other pictures. Because if it's paid for, I can't read the pattern to see what, you know, how difficult it is. And I don't know if it tells you, oh, skill level, advanced and intermediate. It includes both charts and written instructions. Anyway, I'm going to strive to try and do some of that. Or find, there was a YouTube video I started watching, and this woman was showing you from start to finish, I think, how to knit a pineapple patterned crochet top. So I might watch the whole video and see if it's doable, and then find yarn and give it a go. I don't know. Might be too, as I said, I might be being too over enthusiastic. No, adventurous. Setting this, standard too high. I'm not at that level yet. So, but anyway, sorry. Oh, and the glasses. I was trying to keep the glasses off. Look, see. Yeah. So that is my crochet, and I have to admit I can't stop doing it. I'm trying to knit on the two things I've shown you. I haven't knit on the socks because I wasn't very well. Normally I would pick up the socks and do some easy sock knitting while watching TV. So they got, didn't get touched. I think they would have been touched had I not been trying crochet. That's generally what was happening. It was taken away from easy knitting. Anyway, show and tell, which will kind of lead into boot top really. Okay, so last week, trying to think when, it doesn't really matter when, but in the past week or so, now I'm getting a bit hot, I received a couple of packages, and I don't show everything on here because, when people send me messages and we agree on sometimes swapping things, or, that just they say that they have something and they want to send it to me, I don't show everything, and I normally will send a thank you or PM you immediately. I'm a little behind on that too, what with being sick, but I know if you have sent me something recently, and my huge apologies if I haven't got back to you yet, because I'm sure I'm behind on a couple of messages, but thank you, huge thank you, because, I don't want to get started, but I can't say anything more than thank you, but it doesn't seem enough. For your generosity and just your kindness and the love you send with the package. Thank you. So one of the packages I got this past week. Oh, where's the other thing? Oh, I'll show it next time. So a few weeks ago when I showed you, remember I showed you some old patterns that I had, which were my mom's, and I thought about framing them, really old, like silver and grey baby patterns. Well, I got someone got in touch and said they had some, and if I wanted them they would send me them. And so here they are. I've got to show you them. I've got 4 little booklets here, and I'll show you them fully. So we got this one, and even though there's just one picture on the front, like here, the booklet has, I've got to be careful. It's got different patterns in it. There's normally it would show you on the front or the back what was inside the booklet, but they don't. And there's another little one. Lacy matinee coat. We used to call them that. Matinee. I used to say matinee. Like a matinee, like at the movies in the afternoon thing, matinee, but we called them a matinee coat. Dolman cardigan, there's a little cardigan. And look, some little pants and booties and a hat, the whole set. What was that called? That's called a pram set. The Quicken Knit pram set. Isn't that funny? Called it a pram set. And there's another little cardigan, and there's quite a few different patterns in. Oh, such a tiny little book. So that was one, and here's a very, just a couple of pages one, with 4 or 3 little patterns in it. I haven't, oh yeah, these are all by Quicken Knit, I guess. P&B wools. And as I said, I've got to be very careful with them. But I just think they're so sweet. And in fact, I wouldn't mind knitting some of these little baby things sometime. But my idea was to frame them, excuse me, 2 pram sets. Look at that, pram set. Baby in a pram. my goal was to actually, my thought was to frame them, but I'm not sure whether I want to just yet, because then you wouldn't be able to open them. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I would display them if I didn't frame it. So I'll have to think about that. But look at that. Now, have you ever wondered, this came to me the other day, have you ever wondered who these babies are and where they are now? Wouldn't that be interesting to find out? I wonder if there was any way of finding out. Not that I would pursue that. You'd obviously have to publish by Paytons, or Patterns, Paytons, and Baldwin's Limited. I just thought it was it was a fun thought. And a baby's duffel set. Look at this thing. How cute is that? So yeah, I wonder where these babies are now. Now this is only one pattern, so I could kind of just frame that if I'm not going to knit it, and I just like the picture. I just like the idea of these in really nice frames and put on the wall, down in my craft room. So thank you for that. And then I also received, after talking, about the book, and I'll just show you this one again because I was sent that. Thank you, my friend. I haven't started it because I got sick last week, but I want to open that up now. And then when remember I mentioned some other books. Which one? I think this was it I found first, and it's the first in the series. My friend, she sent me this one too. The Vintage Tea Set Club, because it was, I guess I could have got hold of it here, but as I said, I hadn't looked into it. This sounded really nice. Oh, this one. Well, I tell you, I think I mentioned it. At a car boot sale, which is what we call them in England. You don't have really car boot sales here. You have yard sales, and we go around to people's houses and they have all their stuff out on their yard. But at a car boot sale, I think I mentioned this before, in England, I feel like I'm leaning forward all the time. A car boot sale, and I know Talia remembers this because she lived in England for a little while, the person selling their stuff or junk or treasures, whatever you want to call them, would pile up all the stuff in their car and drive to a certain spot with everybody else, and there was often a designated field, and you would line your cars up, and out of the back of your car, out of the boot as we would call it, you didn't sell from the boot, but you'd have all your stuff there, and if you had enough room in your car, you'd bring a table and you'd lay out all your stuff, and people would walk up and down, kind of like a flea market set up here. That's what we call them here, flea market. But you won't find like huge big pieces of furniture in that, because people can't, we have small cars, and most of the time we don't have trucks and that to get these things from A to B. So whatever you could get in your car, you would take to your car boot sale. Anyway, so at a book sale in Sussex, 3 very different women meet and fall for the same vintage tea set. This reminds me of you, Sarah. Apple Blossom. I can just imagine, because I know you have a love for these vintage teacups and collecting teacups and saucers and that recently. But can you imagine? I think this is just a fabulous idea. So you all fall for the same vintage tea set, and then these ladies decide to share it. Isn't that fun? And form a friendship that changes their lives. So then it mentions the girls, Jenny, Maggie and Alison. I won't go into detail about what it says on the back. I've just realised, did I mention them? So I'm into book talk now, as you can tell. Have to do a quick show and tell. And I did have something else to show, but I forgot. It's not here, so I'm going to make a note and I'll show it next week. That way I've always got something in show and tell to show you. So I was sent that, and then in the same, I don't know how many, but there is another one in the series. Actually, it's not, I don't know if it's the same series actually, I'll have to read about it, because it is called the Seafront Tea Rooms, and this is the Vintage Tea Cup Club. It's the same author, and it's kind of, you know, similar story. It's about a tea room. But I don't think it's the same ladies. Charismatic journalist Charlotte is on a mission to scope out Britain's best tea rooms. Keir and Dan. No, you're too busy doing all your Roman and history things. Somebody over there. Zena, Tracy, Sam, anybody. You should go on the hunt for some British tea rooms. Well, you'd have to have a liking, I guess, for tea and stuff like that. But wouldn't that be fun? So this book is about somebody goes on a mission to scope out Britain's best tea rooms. And she knows she's found something special in the seafront tea rooms. But it's a secret. Is it a secret she should share? So she finds this really nice tea room, and then another lady, Catherine, whose only sanctuary is the seafront. So this lady goes into this tea room. She convinces Charlie, who is Charlotte, I would imagine, to keep the place out of her article by agreeing to join her on her search. So Catherine doesn't want Charlotte to publish, and tell everybody about this tea room, because then it wouldn't be a nice, quaint, little, quiet tea room. Tourists get word of it, then it perhaps spoils it for the locals, I would imagine. And then there's one other lady, together with another regular, Seraphine, a culture-shocked French au pair, with a passion for pastry making. They travel around the country discovering quaint hideaways and hidden gems. Ooh, I would just love to do that. Oh, Tilly! Tilly, you love tea and you're doing your tea cosy. Go find us a tea room. No pressure, I'm just thinking it's a nice, good idea. But if you have a local one, whoever podcasts over there, and you have a local little tea room, that would be fun to hear about. Anyway, for now, I can only read about them because I don't have any pretty little English tea rooms over here, where I live. I do have somewhere that I went for a tea. Remember, I went for an afternoon tea, but it's not. It serves meals, and it was, it's a kind of a little hotel-y kind of thing. Anyway, more waffle. I am still trying to read this one as well. Just haven't read it again. The only reason I've not done much this week is because I was sick. So normally I would be. I'm still going to read that one. Bindi wants out, so hold on. Go on then, it's a bit chilly. Alright. Okay, so not quite finished with, oh goodness, it's chilly. Not quite finished with Book Club. Book Talk. I thought I would do a book review this week and just show you in a little bit more detail one of the books that I got at the retreat. And if you remember, I said I might show you, or talk about a little bit more, this book by Kristen Nicholas, and it's called Kristen Knits. And this is the one where it's all about colour. 27 inspired designs for playing with colour. And I probably need my glasses for this, but I have, look at it, can you tell, look, flagged them. So I thought I would do a little bit more in depth, and I'm not a great reviewer, but thought I'd tell you, instead of just showing you some pictures, tell you a little bit about the book as well. Sorry, I keep saying so. The book, when you first open it, it's going to break down the patterns into different sections. And they have sensational scarves and one Afghan, it says, colourful hats, cosy socks, can't see now, marvellous mittens, and what does it say, gloves, stunning sweaters, and a little section at the back to basics. So, I don't like keep saying so. And it's got a little bit of information in the front here about colour and things to read, which I haven't read yet. Then it starts sensational scarves and Afghans. And some of them, I mean, this looks so similar. It's garter stitch, although I did think I loved garter stitch. Now I'm not quite sure because of knitting that Lawrence. But that's a simple scarf where they've, wow, you'd have to cast on a lot of stitches because it's just, I'm trying to see how many. Oh. Okay, you know, over 200 stitches you're casting on because you're knitting the whole length garter stitch. There's a dotty stripe scarf, same kind of thing, garter stitch. And I'll not show you all of them. Here's a different one though, and it's got some embroidery on. A lot of her patterns are embroidered after the fact. And that makes them really stand out, but of course it's the colour that Kristen's using too. And here's another one. I mean, when you think about it, or when I think about it, I've not knit anything like these styles, and they look super fun. And this was the Afghan. It's in this section, but I can't imagine ever knitting that. It's huge. But again, if you love colour, that's got to be pretty. That looks pretty stunning. And I'm not sure if you can see. I'm going to try and stand up. So after she's knit it, she actually embroiders around those diamonds and that. Can you see? It's probably blurry, but and I'm standing up so you can. I'm standing up so you can get a good close up of that. Anyway, and then there's a section. Oh, I love this one too. The section about hats, colourful hats. Some really fun looking ones. Again, I think I want to try to get them on the needles. Sister Love striped hat, just fun. I think what makes them is the fun colours that I used. So if you're not very good putting colours together, I mean, this just makes it easy work for you. And another thing I like, excuse me, about the book. If you notice, well you won't until I show you, you see the different stripes, the actual lines of the pattern, she alternates between like a pink and then a white, pink and white. So I kept wondering why is it like that, but it's just the different steps in the knitting, which is, it's just pretty good. I think it makes it, it's just easier to read. You know, sometimes when you see a page like this, it just, there's so much to read and you don't know where to stop and start and where's the gauge, and it's just all written one after the other. But when you turn it over and you look at the pattern, it's a lot easier. It stands out a lot easier to read one row after the other. I like it. And especially when, you know, every other row is knit. You can see in the thin white line it just says knit. So it's just easier to see than the next round. I like that. I haven't picked any specific hat out to do. Let's see. So I'll move into, I haven't picked any hats, I'll move into this section which I would really like. I found a pair of socks that I would consider. This is the sock section. And a lot of the socks are, as you can see, quite thick. I'm sure they're worsted weight. She's got boot toppers included in this one too. I think that's the only pair of boot toppers in this one. Could be wrong. I think it is. Yeah. So then it goes on to just socks. Be happy, be colourful. Normally that would freak me out because they're both completely different colours, but I'm getting better at that. And so I would actually like to consider making something this thick, because you know, like just fun bed socks. Here's another wild and woolly pair, stripes. And I'll show you the pair that really stood out for me, if I can. Ooh, there they are. There's just always so much to knit and not enough time. So Let's see. Yeah, these are kind of using a US 7. I might have to go down a needle size or so. Might have to consider checking gauge if I want to knit something like this, because I've never used, you know, such a thick yarn. But I love these colours. Of course I do. They're autumnal and they're called Autumn Leaves socks. I just love the colour. And so I wonder how fast you would do them, because it's thick yarn. That would be fabulous. I'm going to consider or really look into that. And again, with the socks, the pattern is written out like this. Alright, moving on. The next section, which is really pretty. But if anything, I'll probably start with those socks out of this book. The next section is Marvellous Mittens and Gloves. And fingerless ones included. So I think I showed you this quickly or briefly when I showed you the book last week. The fingerless mitts, but you know, the added embroidery just makes it pop. It's really, they just look so unique, I think, and you know, could have a completely different look based on the colours. Olivia's and Celia's mittens. I want to show you, you can see in this picture at the top, and that I just like those dots in the green, and I'm showing you there because you don't see them as much on this page. You see the flowery ones, but you don't see the dotted ones as much. Excuse me, itchy nose. But again, the stripy ones, they've got embroidered flowers on, so it's that added extra detail that just makes them really pop. There is other mittens. I don't want to show you every single thing. There is, there was another set I did like. Oh yeah, there's a Nordic section pattern, Nordic inspired mittens. Nope, there. These ones. And then this pair, I put it all together gloves, so I think this is still the Nordic pattern. But these are gorgeous. It looks like the same kind of yarn as the socks I like. And these are actually gloves, not mittens, but oh. I think I need to just liven things up a bit, if you would want to call it that. Consider doing something like this, completely different to what I usually cast on. I think I've gone for years and years, or months and months, just knitting the same old kind of thing. But after seeing this book and the colours that are used, it inspires me to try and replicate them, or actually just pick the pattern and do them. The other section, the final section on here, is Stunning Sweaters. Look at the colours in that. It just makes me smile right now. The beautiful colours and the pictures, and it's full of sunshine. There is some that I wouldn't do, but I think there's one that I would really like. Let me see. Well, I wouldn't do that either, just so there's circles, bubbles and stripes. But that's not really me, but it's nice. And then there's the diamond pins, and again with the embroidered flowers, really adds a pop to the top of the sweater there. I thought there was one in here I would consider, but I'm not so sure now. I did not flag it after I got to the first part. I'll just check. Oh, it was, well, not the neck of this, but here's a striped turtleneck, and I would consider doing this in cotton or acrylic, but I like the colours and I love that stripy sweater. And again, I've never knit anything like that, got nothing that colourful in my wardrobe, so perhaps 2015 will be my year of whatever, new things, trying new things. So then at the back of the book, there's a very colourful cardigan there, if I wouldn't do it. We've got the back to basics section, it says, and so she shows you back down to basics. Let's see. She's just talking about, you know, giving you some guidance and telling you how to do, say, for instance, a swatch in the round, knitting with 2 colours, and two-handed knitting with the 2 colours. I guess just giving you some information on that. Working Fair Island duplicate stitch charts. That's, you know, where did I see it? Oh, here. So she tells you how to do that. Because as I said, that really makes some of the patterns and that really pop. And then the embroidered flowers kind of tells you a little how to achieve that. And one thing, and oh, it reminded me, she talks about pom-poms, mitered corners, double DPNs, and then there's this section which I had mentioned to somebody recently. Steeking. I have never steeked, if that's what you say. And I've been considering this, seriously considering looking at YouTube videos and learning how to steek, because remember my grey sweater that I recently knit that is scratchy as anything? And I don't know if I told you I was going to, you know, undo the neck and knit it in an acrylic so that it wasn't as itchy. To be honest, I don't think that will help because the rest of the sweater was, you know, a little itchy. Excuse me. I had considered undoing the neck and steeking it and making a cardigan. And that way it's easier to get it on and off, because it would still be a little scratchy that way, but not so much if I've got the long sleeves. The only thing I dislike about a sweater that's scratchy is you can't take it on and off as quickly, or as often really, as you can a sweater. Oh, I thought Bindi was wanting in. So I'm seriously considering that. I've never done steeking, but if I'm not going to wear that sweater, I would seriously give it a try. I have no problems with cutting that up the middle. I just need to, you know, learn the technique and watch a few videos first. So yeah, that's just an idea and a thought. And again, if I've never steeked, it's another new thing for this year. I've never knit anything as colourful as anything in here, especially the socks, so that would be something new this year. But yeah, I really, really like this. I won this at the retreat. You might want to check if you would like this. If you've got a Tuesday morning near you, I know they get some books in, knitting books. I got one with lace a little while ago. You could check there, or just check your library. You know, your local library might have it to just get out and have a, you know, browse through. But I really, really liked it. Fabulous, colourful book. Makes me smile. All right. With that, before we run into girly chatter, which is, you know, I don't know whether I should just have that section called girly chatter, because the whole podcast is full of girly chatter, don't you think? In the kitchen, I picked up this yesterday. To be honest, I haven't even fully read the other one I bought the other month, but sometimes I like to see a new magazine. It's nice and glossy. As you may know, if you've been watching for a few weeks, I've been trying not to eat meat. Trying to, if I could be vegan, trying, but it's not working, not happening. I have tried, you know, the non-dairy cheeses and things like that, but I like Greek yogurt, and you can get a lot of protein from Greek yogurt and things like that. So at best right now, I'm trying to be vegetarian. The last time I had meat, I had 2 little pieces, excuse me, because my nose is itchy. When we were at the retreat, we ordered an Indian takeout, and I had 1 piece of chicken from the chicken tikka masala. The rest was I just had the sauce on the rice, and I had 1 little chicken piece from the chicken korma. Then we did order a vegetarian dish called jalfrezi, as I call it. It's like a tomato and oniony base, but just full of vegetables instead of a chicken jalfrezi or whatever. And we also got, and I don't know how to pronounce this, Sam from the Knit Run Dig podcast, who was with us. She's a vegetarian, and she says she gets this often in an Indian restaurant, and it was called Matar Paneer. And paneer is a certain kind of cheese. And so it was in a similar kind of spicy, it looked like a tikka masala sauce, but it had a slightly different taste, I think. But there was cubes of this cheese, kind of looked like tofu, but it was a cheese, and had peas in it, and that was really, really super yummy. So that was the last time I had meat. You know, I haven't had a chicken breast or ground beef or any kind of meals like that since well before Christmas, since Thanksgiving even. So I'm happy to say it. I'm trying to stick with it as best I can. And so I got this. And yesterday, not necessarily from here, but I did prepare the tofu this way. I bought tofu for the first time ever in my life, seriously. But it just so happened to have this dish in. And it was General Tso, as I call it, General Tso tofu. And we always get, from Chinese takeout, our favourite is General Tso's chicken. So I tried the tofu. I prepped the tofu, like I said here, but I didn't do their sauce. I cheated and I got a jar of Panda Express orange sauce. But I made noodles. I stir-fried peppers and baby sweet corn. They were from a can, and water chestnuts because they were crispy. And I put bamboo shoots in. And what else? Oh, and then did I just say noodles? I did noodles, and I threw all that together with like a noodle vegetable bowl. Steamed broccoli, that was the one I missed. I threw all that together, and I prepped the tofu like it says here. I pressed it to get the moisture out. Marinated it in some soy sauce, ginger, garlic, and I actually put it in the oven so that it kind of gets crispy. Not totally crispy, but you know, it's kind of firm and just a bit like frying it in cubes. And I really enjoyed it. I'll have some for lunch. But after years and years and years of trying tofu and always not liking the texture or the fact that it was just so tasteless, it was just weird. I had a try at the retreat again. I think it was when we were at the Thai restaurant. I had a try of Sam's pieces of tofu. Excuse me. And for the first time ever, I said, that's not so bad. That didn't gross me out, and the texture and everything was okay. So that's why I tried it yesterday, and hubby said it was okay. I mean, he didn't, you know, he says it's not a cheeseburger, and so he's doing pretty good because he does like cheeseburgers, and he's not eating meat either. Kiki even had a couple of pieces, said it was okay. He comes Bindi again. And she had some noodles with it, and she likes the broccoli. So all in all, it was a good experience. I wouldn't say I'll have it all the time, but I will look at some of the recipes. So I'm going to charge up the phone for a few minutes, let Bindi in, and I'll be back. Alright, moving into girly chatter. A couple of things I didn't show you last week that I had mentioned. I was talking about my favourite things. And this, which you probably can recognise, and this, which you might not have seen yet, are two of my favourite things right now. This, I don't know if that's it, EOS, is a chapstick, actually. For those in England, my sister says she's not seen them. I was using it the other day. It comes and it's like an oval, and then by the time you use it, like this, it ends up with a pointier shape. This one is tangerine. Smells wonderful. I got this from Kimberley when I was on the retreat, and I have to admit, I've bought a couple for Kristen before, but never bothered using them because I used to just use the chapstick, not even the chapstick brand. I think it's Chap Ice, and it's just a cheap brand. But my lips were really, really dry recently, when before I went to Florida and while I was there. And then when I came back, I did have my chapstick, but as I said, I got this from Kimberley. I really enjoyed using it. Came home, I have been using this and I was using my chap ice, but when my lips were really, really dry and sore, the chapstick was kind of stinging when I put it on, in not a good way, you know, like it was because it just seemed as if it wasn't as easy to put on, and it was not as soft gliding, so it was kind of stinging my lips. So this is one of my favourites right now. I have to get more. There's lots of other flavours. I can't stop using it. So if you haven't tried an EOS yet, I highly recommend it. And then we found this. Actually, I think I bought this before I went to Florida. It's only a couple of dollars. And this is the EOS, I'll get some out, obviously you can see, hand lotion. And I have to tell you, I hate putting hand lotion on. My hands are so dry. Colorado is a very, very dry state, especially in the winter. And I've mentioned before how, you know, the dry skin around my fingers is, it catches on my knitting sometimes. But I just put off and put off. I don't like using hand lotion. And when I do use hand lotion, I tend to feel like many lotions, you still feel as if it's on your hands. And even when it's dry, it still to me feels as if I should wash it off. So I end up washing it off, trying to leave it on the top here, which defeats the purpose because my hands get dry again. This is the first one in a long time. I think I tried one recently, but it was from one of those sample boxes I was getting, so I don't know how much the full size was. This is just like, look, it's dry now, and I was telling my sister I can touch the iPad. I don't feel as if, it's like super smooth. I don't feel as if I should go wash my hands. There's no oil or greasy feeling. Smell is nice and floral. It's the only kind I've seen, a pink one. I haven't seen any other colours, so I don't know if it's going to eventually come out in different smells or fragrances. But if you haven't checked out this EOS, as I said, I'm sure it was only $1.99 in Walmart. Check it out. That's a couple of my favourite things. The other thing I mentioned last week, I talked about a new planner. I should get Instagram up. And I've just realised, or I've discovered this week, there's a whole world of planner addicts out there. And when you say a planner, I'm not just talking about Filofax or any other kind. They're all pretty pastel colours now, or gold colours, or just lots of different companies, different brands, things I've never heard of. And one of them, if you saw recently, I think I might have put this on. I don't normally do it, but I put on my Instagram. I posted this for a chance of winning a planner. There's lots of different sizes, different styles. Of course, I didn't win. And then I saw this one I posted because this was another giveaway. This is from Webster's Pages. But when I typed in Planner Addict on Instagram, I think that's where I did. I don't use hashtags. You'll find lots of posts of people's, not just planners, and one of the fun things and what they're quite addicted to is actually decorating their planner pages, as you can see. But they also have, they'll tell you where they're buying all of their little stickers, their washi tape, and I know about washi tape, but I've never had to use it, never thought about needing to use it. But yeah, so I've been going through all of these things this week. There's not just Instagram pages. I think there's people that have their blogs if you search, and there is even Facebook pages for the Planner Addict. I have to admit, I've gone and ordered one. I'll show you it when it comes in. It's from Australia. And I will talk about it a little bit more once it arrives. It might be another week or so yet. But I'm super excited about starting to get organised and planning, using a planner again, which I've not used in many, many years. I have an old Day Runner, which is a bit like a Filofax, I think. It's just a black one. It's got a zip around it. And I never really enjoyed using it before, and I don't use it now. But I'm super excited to jump on the bandwagon of planners, and I'm going to try to get, as I said, get started with when it comes, decorate my own, keeping on top of things, making lots of notes, and writing it all down in one place. So that's another favourite thing. On Instagram and other places, they seem to go crazy, and they have some of them have half a dozen planners, pocket planners, planners for different areas of their life, I guess, if it's work or play, I don't know. I think I'll only need one. But so that's another new thing I just found. And I've got one last thing to talk about, which is in here. But I forgot to show you this earlier. Look what I made. A little heart, crocheted heart, and I've put it on a paper clip. And I think I need to, kind of flatten the heart and glue it a bit, I think. Hang on, Bindi. She's wanting in and out like a yo-yo. And you'll find there's quite a few little paper clips and things on people's planners. So hold on. And finally, in Girly Chatter, juicing. Yes, I mentioned a little while ago, we got a juicer. We have been juicing, still almost every day since then. But I wanted to talk to you about the things we were trying, and I keep talking to Kiki about, didn't know what that was. I keep talking to Kristen about, she really should try. She's just so opposed to anything that is fresh fruit and veg, basically. She's so used to processed food. Even though I try to make meals, I'm not doing so good on healthy meal-wise lately. So she is considering trying some juices. And I wanted to mention one that it says here, I have a recipe, there's a web page I use a lot, which is juicerecipes.com. This is where I get a lot of the recipes from. And one of them I'm going to try today with Kristen, and I wanted to show you and mention, is this breast cancer awareness juice. It's not October, of course, you know that, but when I came across it, it says this recipe is a lot of experimentation. We've come up with a juice that comes out pink, tastes incredible, and can help prevent breast cancer. Please share this recipe, especially for the month of October. Show everyone what juicing can do for your health and still taste great while bringing awareness to breast cancer. So I'm going to try to make this afternoon and see if I can get Kristen to like it. It includes for half a lemon, 1 large tomato and 1 large wedge of watermelon. And it says the general idea with this one is to put the lemon in, then the tomato, and then start feeding in watermelon until you hit 32 ounces. I've also looked to see whether or not I'm supposed to peel the watermelon. It does say that you try and leave on as much of the, well, I want to say the pith, the white stuff, I guess. But that children might not like it because it tends to change the taste slightly, so start with a very little or none at all. I'll try that, but none at all first. One of Kristen's favourite fruits is watermelon, so I'm hoping that she kind of likes this. And the website, when I get it, it'll show you, where am I going to point to here, benefits and conditions. So it'll tell you what the benefits are based on, for different kinds of things. You can see in the green titles there. And then if you go, no, that's the conditions, sorry. So if you have breast cancer, if the condition breast cancer, it'll show you what the benefits are and what watermelon contains that makes it good for breast cancer. I think I'm getting it back to front, but anyway. It'll help for asthma, say. Lemon juice assists in curing respiratory problems, so the lemon in it helps things. The tomato, obviously, we know is really good. So it's, let me go to the other thing. It's just a great website if you are trying to juice. This is one of the websites I like, and if you hit the juice health, it will give you health benefits, as I said, and health conditions. So, if you're trying preventative and you click on something, say like cancer prevention or energy, if you want something for energy benefits, it'll have them. You know, it'll tell you what to use. This is as a preventative. If you already have the condition, say for asthma, which is I have, then you click on asthma and it'll show you different recipes. If I can get it just now. Can't hold this. Can it go to scroll? It'll show you different recipes which would help asthma. You'll obviously find that it cross-references, but there'll be the same recipes for other ailments, because obviously there's so many ingredients, so many juices with so many benefits that they will, you know, help not just with asthma. This one will help with other kinds of conditions. I made this one just recently, the Wingman, and you see the little green bars? That will tell you, before hitting on it, before looking at the recipe, what the main ingredients are. So obviously at the top there, apple, and you know the proportions. So here's a summer melon, just watermelon and tomato. I haven't even tried that one. I have tried the turmeric surprise. That is one of my favourites. And then when you click on the recipe, say for instance this green Wingman, it tells you what's in it, and then it will tell you the recipe. And I've actually started weighing out in grams to make sure I'm kind of on the ball. Because, you know, it says 3 medium apples. Well, your medium and their medium could be completely different, but it gives you 546 grams worth of apples. I'm making sure I'm kind of round about that mark. Kale leaves, 4 leaves. But how big? What is that, you know, what's that going to come out at? That says 140 grams. And it'll tell you, before you click on it, how many ounces that this is going to make. And I actually did measure out, when I did this green one, you know, according to this, I should get 32 ounces of juice. It will depend on your juicer, you know, how good it is, but I was happy to say that I reached just about the 32 ounces with all of those ingredients. Okay guys, I'm going to wrap that up this week. I was finishing off talking about juices, had to charge up the phone again, so before I run out of memory or battery again, I'll just finish that for this week. I do highly recommend juicing, and if you are interested in it, you've got any questions, just send me a PM. So with that, I hope you've enjoyed sitting down with me today. The sun is still shining. It is after lunch now. Hopefully I'll get this uploaded to YouTube in the next few hours. I have not heard from Podcast Garden, so it looks like I'm going to have to send another message to them, but I don't know what else to do if they're not replying to people. It's annoying because they've got my money and I can't do anything with their website. So I'll look into that as and when I can. I do wish you all a fabulous week. Hope it all goes well. Hope you are well. Stay well. Don't get no crud or colds. And I hope you come back next week. Join me here in the Knitting Den. Bye guys.